Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 19th, 2025, and Barcelona have officially launched their third kit for the 2025-2026 season. Also, Dani Rodriguez, very close to leaving the club. And finally, Marcus Rashford giving a very interesting interview where we're going to cover his statements. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that today Barcelona officially launched their third kit for the 2025-2026 season. Of course, this is a kit that we've seen plenty of times before thanks to the leaks of channels like Memorabilia 1899, but now we have the official photographs from FC Barcelona, and I have to say I'm actually liking it. It's growing on me. I know some pictures showed it a lot more darker orange. Some showed it to be a little more pinkish. This is more of a mango orange. I like the blue. The orange itself I wouldn't like on its own, as I'm not a big fan of the color orange, but I think with the blue it makes a really good combination. And I really love the fact that the crest is in the middle right above the Spotify logo. I really like that. Again, this kit is growing on me. I do of course want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. What do you think about this kit? My favorite kit is still of course the away kit, which I just received yesterday in the mail, but nonetheless this kit it's growing on me. Now Barcelona have released an official statement explaining the meaning of this kit, and this is part of the statement that Barcelona have released, saying FC Barcelona's third kit for the 2025-2026 season exudes victory. The bright mango color takes center stage in a shirt inspired by the orange uniform worn by the first team in the Club World Cup final of December 2009. That triumph completed a historic sextuple and was the culmination of a style of play that left an incredible mark on the football world. So there you have it, folks. This kit is in honor of the third kit that the Pep Guardiola team won that historic sextuple back in 2009, and this is the kit that we're talking about in case you don't remember. So that's pretty cool, and hopefully Hansi Flick's team can repeat that amazing achievement where Barcelona became the first team to ever win the sextuple. Of course, the other team later on was Bayern Munich under Hansi Flick. So Flick, hey man, please, let's win another sextuple, which by the way would be the third treble of Barcelona, which would make Barcelona the only club to win 3 trebles. So why not? Let's aim for that sextuple. All right, on to that next bit of news, because ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Dani Rodriguez could be on his way out of the club. Now, as you know, Dani Rodriguez got his debut under Hansi Flick last season, but unfortunately a shoulder injury meant that he would miss the preseason, something that Flick was hoping to call him up to. He would really want to see Dani Rodriguez in the preseason, but since Dani Rodriguez missed the preseason and you know his shot kind of making it to the first team has diminished, and he feels like he has outgrown 4th division where Barca Athletic are currently playing, Dani Rodriguez is now looking to plow his straight somewhere else. And as I told you in a previous video, Valencia were very interested in signing him, but of course Valencia were looking for a loan. Meanwhile, Barcelona were looking for a permanent transfer while still maintaining control over the player. In other words, maintaining, a buyback clause plus still owning a percentage of the rights of the player. Well, it seems that other teams joined the race, including Rayo Vallecano, who also became interested in the player. And then there was Celta, who were ready to make a concrete offer. And it looks like this extra interest has pushed Valencia now to the position where they are willing to pay a transfer fee, where again, Barcelona are going to request a buyback clause and to maintain ownership of the rights of the player in case he does, end up living up to the hype and expectations. They can always bring him back. So it looks like Valencia are willing now to pay a transfer fee. Of course, Dani Rodriguez is open for the move to Valencia. So we'll see what both teams end up agreeing to. But this is, of course, a step forward because, again, Valencia only wanted a loan. Barcelona only wanted a permanent transfer. But now Valencia willing to meet Barcelona's demands. All right, on to the next bit of news, because today Marcus Rashford gave a pretty interesting interview where we're going to cover some of his statements. I really liked this interview. And of course, I'm going to focus on the key statements that I really liked. is starting with how Marcus Rashford views Barcelona as a team. And well, this is what Barcelona's Loni had to say. This team has the foundation to achieve it. Otherwise, it would not have won 3 trophies last season. The mentality and motivation are high. I don't see any reason not to win all these trophies we play. For me, this team is ready to win. I just want to help however I can. The season is long and football is unpredictable, but the team and the coaching staff have the kind of strong mentality to face any challenge. So despite the short time that Marcus Rashford has been here, he sees it clear as day that this team has what it takes to compete for every trophy, not just physically, not just skill-wise, but mentality-wise. And he's saying that team has a foundation, and they do. Last season was the first season, and as always, the first season of every project is a very difficult and challenging year because the players are learning to play the new system. They're learning to play together. They're learning to play under the new coach. And despite that, Barcelona still won 3 out of the 4 trophies they aim to win. So if they did that during their first season, which is usually the worst season of any project, well, there's no reason why not to think that Barcelona will be able to compete for all trophies during this season when they're going to be much, much better. And while Rashford seeing that and saying that, he's also willing to help with these efforts. Now, Rashford was asked about, his versatility and where he would be willing to play, whether left winger, number 9, somewhere else, goalkeeper, I don't know, water boy. And this is what Rashford had to say. I can play in both positions, of course, referring to the left wing and a center forward. But in the end, what matters is to help, score, and assist. I don't care what position he plays. That was kind of I think a transcription error, but he's talking about himself. I think the players around me are very good and make good passes. So if I make good runs and at the right time, I can always create and score goals. So here Rashford saying is like, look, I can play as a left winger, I can play as a center forward, but at the end of the day, I don't care where I play as long as I get to help this team, because after all, I want to score, I want to assist, and with such quality players around him, well, that's not going to be a problem for him. All he has to do is make timely runs because, well, the team is that good. And I really like these statements because this shows that, well, Rashford is coming with a humble mentality where he's here to help the team. He's not here to be the star and, be the top guy. No, I got to play where I want to play because I'm so good. You don't tell me. No. He's like, look, I'm here and help. I don't care what position. I don't care if it's on the bench, it's a starter. I just want to help this team. And it's not going to be a difficult thing because this team is so good. Now, these are the words that Marcus Rashford had to say about Hansi Flick. Rashford said he's very communicative and direct, which is important, especially with a lot of young players. The direction has to be clear. Their motivation is high to do better than last season, which is why I think the team will be successful. He's a special coach who knows how to work with special players. So Marcus Rashford praising Hansi Flick, saying that he's always very clear and direct with his message. And I think we've all noticed that during the press conferences, whether the pre-match or post-match press conferences. And I think this is very important because, of course, as we've seen, the players have been able to comprehend and implement Hansi Flick's vision, something, of course, that we criticize previous coaches because previous coaches would, give press conferences. They would explain what they wanted, what they expected of the players, and it sounded all good, but then you would look at the matches and you wouldn't see that. And it was obviously a clear disconnect between what the coach was hoping to see versus what the players were actually executing, and we don't see that with Flick. The players are executing exactly what Hansi Flick wants them to execute, and while that is part of it is because he is very clear when it comes to his message, which is something very important, especially with very young players. It's very important to be direct with them and not to be around the bush. Now, finally, Marcus Rashford had also praise of Lamine Yamal, and this is what the Barcelona player had to say. As a person, Lamine is an 18-year-old boy, always funny, laughing, playing jokes with others. And as a footballer, he is a top talent. The most surprising thing is how mature he is for his age, how he thinks and plays. He is well above his age. Yes, sir, if you don't win it this year, you'll win it in the future, talking about the Ballon d'Or. So Marcus Rashford joins a very, very, very long list of players who are always saying the same thing. Lamine Yamal is he's a kid, he's always joking around. But as a footballer, he's incredibly, incredibly mature. And I think, well, we can see that this is not just something the players are saying because we see it on the field. I mean, how can he be 18 years old playing the way he does? Lamine Yamal plays like he's been playing football for 20 years. And that, of course, is thanks to his maturity as a footballer. And, Rashford saying, if Lamine doesn't win the Ballon d'Or this year, he'll have plenty of years to win it. And I do agree. I think Lamine deserves to win it this year. He was the best player last season. They want to give it to Dembele, who only played half a season, but whatever. But either way, whether Lamine wins it or not, I'm sure he's going to have plenty of opportunities to win it in the future. I mean, after all, he's only 18 and he's already the best player in the world. Can you imagine once Lamine is done developing as a man? Once, his muscles, his ligaments, everything, his bones are done developing, he's only going to get better and better. And plus, imagine when he hits his prime, footballing wise. I mean, if we're already seeing magic, you can only imagine how much better this magic is going to be. So if he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or this year, I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities to win it in the future. All right, that is all for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.